Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you are doing great and having a great day ahead. Today we are talking about something new, and I'm sure that you're gonna have fun with it. So just like I need you to be prepared, and I want you to be ready. We are talking about web design and these things that maybe some of you not familiar with, which is about coding and how to code and how to make a website uh, by using codes. Today we are just talking about this, and we are starting with web design. It's not that difficult that maybe some of you were afraid about or were not familiar with. And it's not that easy to say, okay, it's just like something normal. So yeah, you need to practice, you need to be ready, you need to understand the things from the very beginning, and later on it will get easier and easier, and it's gonna be super fun, especially when you are seeing your let's say you are just writing something in text, and later on you will see the things totally different and something uh, fun. So yeah, what we need, I'm sure that on the computer that you have it, all of it, this program is exists, which is called Notepad++. If you cannot find it on the desktop, it's so easy. What you are doing, you are just going here and write Notepad. So you will see plus plus is here. So click it, you will see this interface. The interface is vary from some computer to another computer. I just change it to this dark theme because I have problem with my eyes and I cannot focus while it's white, and it will hurt my eyes. So how I change it is not something difficult. You can just go to setting, and from here there's the styles. Pick the one that it suits you, and you can just work on it without any problem. So this is the first thing we open. The first things we open the uh, let's say the platform or the software that we are coding with. This is the first step. Second step, which is really important, and you have to be, let's say, careful when you are doing this. It's about saving the file. How I'm saving this file? I'm going to File and then Save As, File Save As, or I will press Control Alt S, like this, Control Alt S, all together. It will open this uh, Windows for me, where I can find the location I want to save my file. I just create a folder because I want to keep all my data here. So what I name it, I just name it web design. I'm just going to web design, and here this is the name. For the naming, it's up to you what you gonna name. It's not my business. You will name it your name, you will name it your pet's name, you will name it under your favorite person's name. Is up to you. No one can tell you how to name it, but how you are using the extension within the file. So what I'm doing, because this is our first program, we are saying first site. Because you are afternoon, I will add an I, and later I will write dot, okay, HTML. What I did, I just wrote the name. I just said it's first site for the afternoon, and then I add dot. How to write the dot? Second keyboard. We here have this dot. I will write dot after selecting dot, then HTML, HTML, and save. Now I create the file and I save it. So if I want to create a website, there's some rules I have to follow. This is the first rule. Before doing anything, you have to save your file under any name, then .html. Great. After that, what I'm doing, I'm adding the codes. Okay, I'm adding the codes. How to add the code? I'm using Shift and comma to get this bracket. Okay, I just use Shift and then comma to get this bracket. I will write what? Again, I'm using Shift and number 1 on the keyboard. When there's the numbers up there, I will use this one. And doc type. Okay, doc is mean document, type is for the type of the document that I'm using. It is HTML. Okay, closing the tab. This is my first step. It's not that difficult, and it's not that let's say complicated. It's so easy. What I'm doing, I'm just putting the bracket, opening the tag, then the surprise symbol. I'm just using this, and then doc type HTML. Close the tag. That's it. This is my first step. Why we need this here? Before, because now we are using HTML5 while we are practicing, but before HTML5, we need to write this to tell the browser which document type we are compiling on this software. But nowadays, after creating HTML5, the version 5, we don't need to write this, but I just wrote it to let you know this is part of the code, but it's not essential. What is essential? What is necessary? What is required? Again, we are writing. We are opening the tag and writing what? HTML. Okay. So this is, I opened the tag. To close this tag, what I will write, I'm not going to write end or saying close. No, we are not doing this. What we are doing, opening a new bracket, then using this sign, which is called /, okay, and then HTML, close the bracket. Now I opened a tag and I close the tag. This is really important. Do not forget, you have to have your HTML file start with the opening tag of HTML, then close tag of HTML. This is the first line, and this one is going to be the last line. These are really required, and you have to be careful. You have to write it as it is. Do not change it. And also, it's not a big deal with the HTML. You can just use capital, you can use small. So you could just capitalize these words which you wrote it here, and you could just write it small. There is no problem at all because it's not case sensitive. Well, this is our first tag. I opened the first tag and I wrote HTML, opening tag, and then closing the tag HTML. Great. Later, just imagine this is a human body. So human body, when it starts, let's say from the top, what we have? We have head. We have head. I will just close this because we don't need it. Thank you. Then I have to close the head as well as I did it with the HTML tag. I will just write head. So there's nothing new, there's nothing difficult. We just open a tag, close the tag between HTML, because we said this is going to be our beginning and this is going to be our end of the code. So this one is just like, I just wrote it because maybe you will see it somewhere and don't get panic and don't say from where this came and what does it mean. It's not necessary, but I wrote it. Maybe for tomorrow's class, I'm not going to write this type, doc type HTML. I'm not going to write it. I will just start with the HTML and end it with HTML close tag. So here for the head is the second part. Then we are sure that if there's a head for human, so what we have body. After the head, there's a body. I have to close the body as well, as I did with the other tags. So this is the opening tag. This is the close tag. Again, this is the opening tag. This is the close tag. And this is the opening tag. And this is the close tag. Until now, these are the required codes to have an HTML file. So what I'm doing, just to double check if my file is created and it's ready, I will just save it because I did change, so I have to save it. Go into the folder that I have. Is in impact drive, and second cohort, we have web design. What I have here, it's written first site A for the afternoon. This is for the morning, and this is for the afternoon. Double click. Well, this is my website. Now my website is being created and it is ready. What I'm doing now, I want to change this. I don't want people to know that this is my file's name. No, I want to write something else. How to change this? It's easy. I'm going to the head, because things that you are writing in the head is like the command which is coming from the head, or the orders which is coming from the head, where brain is there, and then answering the things. So what I'm doing, I'm just adding a title. Okay. So I will close the title like this. So I have the beginning and I have the end. What I'm doing, I'm going here and I will write the things that I want to be showing there. What I will write, our first HTML site. Okay. Sorry. Oh, yes. So now I did a change, so I have to save it, or I will do Control S, or I will click there. Now, how to see the change here? Because I see there is no change. I have to do refresh. I do refresh to reload the page. Click. You see here is written first site a.html. Now, after refreshing, our first HTML site. So what I wrote here is gonna appear there. Okay, what I wrote here is gonna appear there. Again, doing a refresh. So yes, I have our first HTML site. Great. So I see the body is empty. Why it is empty? Because we didn't put anything between the tag of body. Well, how to add text to my body? It is super easy. We have what? We have heading and we have paragraphs, which is, we are going to use it quite a lot because these things are helping us to create our website, and it is the required for our website. We will add extra things later on, but step by step. We are not going to take everything today. So what we are doing today, we are just trying to use the heading. So what is the tag of heading? It is H, and then I see after I wrote H, it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means I have 6 headers. 6 headers. So I will say, okay, now I want H1. Then I have to close this tag as well, H1. I have something like this. So what I will write here, I will write first heading. Okay. Now, let's see the other headings. I have H2, H2, and here I will write what? All the time when I'm opening a tag straight, I will close the tag, because if I forgot to close the tag, it's gonna make me headache and it's gonna make troubles. So to avoid this trouble, what I'm doing every time when I open a tag, I will close it straight to just avoid any sort of problems. So what I'm doing, I'm saying this is the second heading, then H3 is gonna be third heading, H4, H4 to just close the tag, and H5, H5 to close the tag, sorry, H5, and then H6, H6. Why I'm doing this, I just want you to know what are the difference between them. Why we have 6 headings. Okay, and then the last, which is heading. Now I just do Control S because I did some change, and then going back to the website that I have here, I do what? I'm just doing refresh. Wow, I see there's a big difference here. For example, I see the first heading is the biggest one, and the 6th heading is the smallest one. That's mean it works against each other. Whenever the number with the edge getting bigger, the text is getting smaller. Again, whenever the number with the edge getting bigger, the size is getting smaller. That's why we have 6 headings. So if we want to use the biggest heading, we are going to use H1. And if we want to use the smallest heading, we are using H6. And be sure this is going to be one of your test question. So if I ask you in the exam, how many headings do we have? I will say we have 2, we have 6, we have 8, we have 10, we have unlimited. So which one do you're gonna use? You're gonna choose, you have to choose the 6th one, because we said that we have only 6 heading. Then another question is coming. I will ask which heading is the biggest within my headers. I will say H1, I will say no, it's H2. No, I will say it's H3 because it's in the middle. So which one you're gonna use for the biggest? You have to use H1 because you saw that H1, because the number is smaller, so the size is bigger, and vice versa. When the number is bigger, for example, with H6, I see the size is really small. That's why be careful in the exam. If you saw anything like this, just stop and take a look and say, oh yes, I understand what is the difference. Great. So if I want to add a paragraph, how to add a paragraph? Opening a tag, letter P, close the tag. So here the opening and here the close. I will write in this between. I will write impact project is the best ever. Okay? Because I did change, what I have to do? I have to save. Control S. To see the result here, what I have to do? I have to do refresh. Well, I see here, there is something written, and it is what I wrote, and it shows here clearly without any problem. So if we have a paragraph, or if we want to have a bunch of text and we want to enter to our website, what we are using P. If we have a heading, or if you have a header, what we are using the H, from H1 to H6, based on what we are trying to get. So you have to feel or notice something here about the style and about the format, because the style is, if you see, it is bold, and the format, you see the font size is big. I know that slowly is getting smaller, but still it's all of them, the style is bold. So from where this happened and how we can explain this, we will do it right now. So for your information, let's just clear this and put a longer text here, and then I will explain to you what is the difference. I just brought this text as a normal text, Control C. I just want to put it there, Control V. So I have the beginning and I have the end. That's why it's fine. I don't have any problem. Control S. Well, let's start and explain the reason that we have this sort of style and this sort of format. We said these are tags, right? At the same time, we call these element. So a group of element creating your website. So this is an element, this is another one, this is another element. All these tags is called element. Each element by default from the creator or from the designer of this program, they gave them a certain format and a certain style. That's why we have variety of heading, and also for the paragraph, we will see here, after I made just the change, I save it and then I will do refresh to see the output. I see here it is bold, it is bigger in the size, with, if we are comparing with the paragraph. The reason, as I said, each element, they have their own default or from the factory style and format. Okay? So that's why in the other lecture, or in the other sessions, what we are taking the things which can make change in these elements. We will use attributes and properties. So these attributes and properties are making change in the style and in the format or for each of these, like the color, like the font size, like because we are not obliged, for your information, you are not obliged to just stick to this style. You can just change the color, you can just change the font style, you can just change the font size, You can add extra information, for example, changing each line to a different color. It's totally fine. But for today, to not make it more complicated on you, we are sticking to this, and we will just explain this part, and it will be super easy and super fun, because as you see now, you just wrote some lines of codes. How many lines we have? 1, 2, 3, 14 lines. Within using 14 lines, what I have a website here. I have a website. I just open it on Google Chrome. It is in Google Chrome, because as you see, this is my email. This is their classrooms. This is the Zoom that I'm using. And this is the website. So it means that I create a website. But what I did first, I opened the code editor or the platform that I'm using for creating my website, which was Notepad++. Second, I just saved the file under extension of HTML. This is really important. Do not forget this. And third, I just came here and I wrote these lines of codes. For example, this is extra. This is extra. These are extra. So what is the essential of my website? It is HTML tag, opening and closing, heading, and body. So I have the header and I have the body. So here I create a website so easy and so simple. Just for, let's say, a magical test, a magical touch. What I did, I just changed the title. I just add a new tag here or a new element. It's named title. And I add the title that I want to be presented here. So what I will write, I could change it. I could just say, hello all. Simple like this. Now I do refresh. I see nothing happen in nothing exists in the body because I just removed the body. But in the head, I just wrote hello all. So I see just hello all here. Then I'm coming to the body. I will add, let's say at this time, I'm not using heading 1, I'm using heading 2, because you are free to choose which heading you are trying to use according to your website. So here what I'm doing, I'm just writing impact project. Okay. Save. Then again, go in here and refresh. Yes, I have impact project. Later on, what I'm adding here, I'm adding a paragraph. Okay. Inside the paragraph, I will write whatever I want. I will write anything which come to my mind. We as University of Soleimani are responsible of implementing an amazing project which been funded by WFP and GIZ. Control S. Now I'm going here and I do refresh. Hola. Here we have what we wrote there. So this is what we wrote, and this is what we get. So simply, I can use the paragraph to write whatever I want. And yes, I forgot this. Why no one is telling me? You are so bad. Yes, I just noticed because when I come here, I saw that the impact and the paragraph, these two, they have to be a different. But because no one told me that I didn't close the H2 tag, that's why I had this problem. So it's all your fault, not mine. Why you are not saying anything? Where are you guys? Oh, you are sleeping? Are you sleeping, guys? Yeah, okay. So great, great. I thought that you are sleeping, but you didn't told me and you didn't notice when I did the refresh there and I show that it's similar. So you have to just shout it out and say there's something wrong with this code. So yeah, right now, if I did the refresh, yeah, now it's fine because this is a heading and this is a paragraph. So there has to be a difference between them. There have to be, sorry, there have to be a difference between them. So now we are seeing the different and we are seeing that this is the heading and this is the paragraph. So just imagine I just forgot to close this tag. What happened? Imagine if you have a really like a big website and you forgot to close one tag and you see there's a disaster happen there. So please be careful. Do not forget to close the tags. So yeah, congratulations. You just became a coder first and a web designer. If you can do what I did today, you just enter to the new world or the world of expertise or the world of gigs of web design. So you just started. Is it difficult? Is it that complicated to be hard for you to understand? I don't think so. I just see that we have a bunch of students which they are ready and they are well prepared and they want to just like start with us the coding and they want to become a web designer because for your information, while you are becoming a web designer, it means that your income will increase because web designer they are really getting a good money. What they are doing, they didn't came from Mars, they didn't came from moon, they are just human like me and you, so they can do this. So we can do. So exactly, this is the website and this is the web design. Slowly we are taking the other things and we are adding the other information for it, like adding image, adding videos, how to split our website and make it part and each part do something different. And I think I showed you some of my first cohort student. So let's just do it again. You see, these are done by my previous student. So just let's take an example from here. Let's take this one. These students, they were just exactly as you are. They just started from scratch and they didn't know what we are talking about. But now this is what they did. You see, this is done by our student. This website designed by a student, which when first they came, they didn't know anything. And later on, they just designed this website. This website is just like done by one of the student, which they were just exactly same as you are. Okay, so great. If someone just can do this, you also going to be part of our community, let's say the IT community, and you can just do something same as this one. So just look at it, how cool it is and how creative it is. So yeah, they start from this and they came out with that. So be sure that you will be at the same stage and even, I can say, better. Because if you are trying harder, you will be better. It's all up to you and it's all depend on you how you are be prepared for these things, then you will get it. It's not as boring as Excel and Access, because Excel and Access is something that you are just working on data, working on something like you cannot visualize it that much. Even like with Access, it's a bit better because you will see a form, you can design it, you can just add pictures, add things, add like um, a bit visualizing things to your data. But here, within web design, it is another world. You will be so happy. You will be so excited because you will see lots of things that you are just doing it by your hand. And later on, you will see the result perfectly. So great. I'm happy that you did your first step. And now I can say again, congratulations. You are in our IT community right now, and you become a web designer soon. Just try your best and try to practice as much as possible and ask questions while you are like practicing with Mama Stabner. So she's here to answer your questions. And also, I am here to help and support. So wish you the best and thank you for your participation. I will leave you with Mama Stabnar so you can just practice with her, and best of luck.